Okay, here we are back in Pioneer for another Magic the Gathering episode. Today we are going to be playing a deck that I call Izzet Ping. So, to begin with, is our lands. So we have 2 Spire Bluff Canal, 4 Steam Vents and 4 Sulphur Falls. These are the lands we want the most, to be completely honest, because they give us both. And with the amount of spells that we have in both colours, having as much lands in double colours can be relevant. Then we've got 6 islands and 6 mountains. So on to our spells. So we've got 4 Opt, 3 Fiery Impulse, 3 Magmatic Insight and 4 Frantic Inventory. One thing that most of these spells have in common is they allow us to draw more cards. Next we have 2 Strategic Planning, 3 Expressive Iteration, 3 Izzet Charm and 4 Light Up the Stage. 1 Dig Through Time and 1 Treasure Cruise. Even though we do end up with a lot of cards in the graveyard, usually we only have probably enough to cast one of these because we want to leave certain cards in the graveyard, like the Take Inventory. Then we have our creatures. 4th Thing in the Ice. A general thing for this type of deck, lots of spells, get it out quickly. And the rest of our creatures is 4 Electrostatic Field and 2 Thermal Alchemists. These are our ping creatures. If we've got quite a few of these ping creatures out, we can rattle through spells, draw more cards, play more spells. We can easily do anywhere between 2 to 6 damage a turn from just maybe 2 of these ping creatures. It all really adds up. Although yes, they do return to my hand after the Thing in the Ice turns, but that's a small price to pay. They are also both defenders, so we will never be attacking unless it's for the Thing in the Ice. And both these have got a reasonably good defence that allows us to block as well as ping. Then we move on to the sideboard. So we've got 4 Aether Gust, pretty much against any red or green aggro deck, 3 Roiling Vortex against any kind of life gain, 2 Smash to Smithereens against any artifact, 3 Damping Sphere against any kind of combo decks, Boros aggro decks and things like that that require a lot of spells. Even though we do require a lot of spells, we can easily still do 2 or 3 points of damage per turn. And finally we've got 3 Ashiok Dream Render. Basically is Graveyard Hate and also stops our opponents searching their library as well. So, without further ado, let's go play a few games and see how we do. Okay, here we are up against Jose BR. We are on the draw, and that's going to be a keep. They play an Overgrown Tomb untapped and a land with elves. So it looks like we're up against elves then. More than likely. We'll play the Spire Bluff Canal. Opt at the end of their turn, or even Fiery Impulse a creature if we want. There's a Realm Walker. Yeah, so we're definitely playing elves. We'll opt and put that at the bottom. There's a Thermal Alchemist. Good blocker. Play the island and get the Thermal Alchemist out. Blooming Marsh, Elvish War Master, a Dwynen's Elite. We really want to get rid of the Realm Walker and the War Master, to be honest, but I'm not able to get rid of both of them at the moment. Play a mountain. And we'll ping our opponent for 1. we'll draw a card with Frantic Inventory. And we get a Treasure Cruise. Ping them again. And we'll take out the War Master. The War Master would be the better one of the two. Mainly because if they play an elf, they're going to get an extra one anyway. Right, so they're getting with everything. So we'll block the Divine, and we'll block the Realm Walker. Not it really matters which. Take 4. Sorry, 5. There's a second another Elvish War Master. So we'll ping them. As an electric static field. So we can get that out. Don't need quite a few more cards in the graveyard for either the Treasure Cruise or Dig Through Time. We'll ping them again, and we'll draw 2 this time with the Frantic Inventory. Okay, so we draw an Expressive Iteration and a Steam Events. There's a lead the Stampede. Jaspara Sentinel. There's another Elvish Warrior because of the War Master. They're getting in with everything again. Highly unlikely, we've only got Defenders. And we're completely tapped out, so block the War Master and the Realm Walker, take 4. Ping them for 1. So next turn they can attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at the moment. So we can survive 1 more turn provided they don't play a Lord. So this is Steam Event, we'll have to play it untapped. So we'll opt. Ping our opponent. Untap it. There's a strategic planning. We'll put that on top. Play the Explosive Iteration. Ping them again. There's a light up the stage and another Thermal Alchemist. So we'll take the light up the stage. Put the Thermal Alchemist on the bottom and exile the land. So we'll ping them again. Cast the light up stage with the respective cost. There's another electrostatic field. Ping them again. Play the Treasure Cruise. If we'd only had one more mana, I think. Yes, if we'd had one more mana, we could have light up the stage and killed them. Down to 2. Oh well. Can we survive? So, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No. Even if we block 2 of them. If we maybe played the electrostatic field, we might have. What? They're leaving 2. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There was War Master gives them all +2/+2, so yeah. Forgot about the ability in the War Master. So we will bring in the 4 Aether Gust, take out 1 Magmatic Insight, 1 light up the stage, and Izzet Charm and a Dig Through Time. Dig Through Time could come a wee bit too late, so we'll take that out. Probably should have maybe taken the Treasure Cruise out as well. We'll keep that. We've got an Aether Gust there, so we can bounce a creature back to their hand. So we'll play the island first for one of the Sulphur Falls. We can ditch the island to the Magmatic Insight. So there's a Llanowar Elf. Play the Sulphur Falls. And we'll leave up Aether Gust. There's a Dwynen's Elite. So we'll Aether Gust that. Hopefully slow them down. And there's an Elvish Mystic. Another land. So we'll play another Sulphur Falls. Play the Magmatic Insight, ditching that mountain. Light up the stage in Steam Vents. So we'll play the Frantic Inventory. Draw another card. Strategic Planning. We're really looking for a thing in the ice here, I think. There's a Dwynen's Elite. We bounce back to the hand last turn. They're going to attack with the elves, or they're going to cast something else. I get in for an attack with 2. Another land, not great at all. We'll play the Steam Vents. Play the Strategic Planning. I don't really get much there at all. So I'll put the Expressive Iteration into our hand. And we'll play Expressive Iteration. There's a thing in the ice, so we want to take that. Put the Magmatic Insight into the bottom, and we'll exile the electrostatic field. There's a Clan Caller, that's going to speed things up a bit. There's an attack from 9. There's an Opt. Can we string together enough spells? Probably not, because we don't have anything to damage for the light up the stage. So we'll opt first, just to see what we get. More land, we put that at the bottom. There's an Aether Gust. So if we bounce something back during their turn, there's a fail push. Even if we did, we don't have anything left. Okay, here we are up against Mr. Hofberg. We are on the play, and we'll keep that. Got a Thermal Alchemist. Plenty of draw at the moment. We even have an extra land for the Magmatic Insight. So we'll play the Steam Vents. They play an Aether Hub. And a Shadow Spear. So we'll opt. And we've got a Magmatic Insight. I don't have the land to play with it, so we'll put that at the bottom. We got a Fiery Impulse. There's a Sulphur Fall, so we could have kept the Magmatic Insight. Play the Alchemist. There's a Mountain. And we'll take Brawler, so is it? And that'll be the green red Pummeler deck. I've not seen this one for a while. Play Steam Vents untap. We'll kill their creature. Ping them for 1. Untap it. And we'll Magmatic Insight, ditching the island. Ping them again. There's an electrostatic field, that's good. So we can get that down next turn. Hopefully if we draw a land, there's an Attune with Aether. We can hold up an Izzet Charm as well. No plays, so we'll ping them again with the Thermal Alchemist at the end of their turn. There's a light up the stage. We'll play the electrostatic field. Luckily we've got the Thermal Alchemist because we can ping them for 1 for the light up stage spectacle cost. Untapping it again. And there's a Thing in the Ice and a Mountain. So we'll play the Mountain. And get the Thing in the Ice out next turn. We have at least 2 spells we can cast. Forest. So are we going to get Bristling Hydra? Yep. This one's difficult to kill. Not that we will probably kill it. But it can get big very quickly. So we'll play the Thing in the Ice. Ping them for 1. and we'll play the expressive iteration. Put it down to 13. So we will take the opt, put the island at the bottom and exile the Sulphur Falls, play the Sulphur Falls, and we can opt as well. Maybe an idea to leave that until the end of their turn, but I don't think it really matters that much. Take them down to 11. And there's another thing in the ice, so we'll put that on top. You need that actually. We'll put it on the bottom, because I think we need spells more. Well, basically bounce their creatures back to the hand with the thing in the ice. We've got 2 spells, enough to do that. Actually, we've got enough to kill them next turn. 2 Izzet Charms and the thing that, a bristling Hydra, so that's going to make things difficult. The Shadow Spear, forgot about that. So they're going to come in for 5. Gorklan Rampager, so that's 9. Blossoming Defence, 11. So they're gaining a lot of life. +1/+1 counter on the Hydra. And another one. They're going to hit us for 13. We'll ping them for 1, down to 22. We go down to 3. Sparbluff Canal comes into play tap, so that's not much good. Play the dig 3 time. Oh, we had an electrostatic field, we should have played that first. And saying that, if we did, we might not have been able to flip, so it's a good idea. It probably was the right idea to play the dig 3 time first. So we'll put the Fiery Impulse and the thing in the ice, I think, or the Strategic Planning. Take the Strategic Planning. Because that way, once we bounce it with the thing in the ice we've got, then we can start working on the second one to hopefully ping it back to their hand again. So take them down to 19. I'm going to flip the thing in the ice. Turn those 2 back to our hand. Draw 2 cards. 2 land. So we'll discard the 2 Sparbluff Canals. Play the Sulphur Falls and play the second thing in the ice. Attack for 7. Now we're going to see the bristling Hydra again. As we'll take Brawler. And the bristling Hydra. And we're going to have enough to bounce those things back to their hand again. We've got 2 spells at least just now. So there's a mountain. So we'll draw 2 Izzet Charm first. See what we get. Frantic inventory and a strategic planning, so I would definitely want to go on flipping the thing in the ice. So we'll put Thermal Alchemist and one of the electrostatic fields back. This is going to give us enough mana to cast what we've got left. So we should have this. We will take the opt. And thinking about it, the frantic inventory may have been an idea. Actually no, because this gives us an extra card just to now. And allows us to opt. Luckily enough, I miscounted our lands. And we get the GGs. So here we're going to bring in the 4 Aether Gust, take out 2 Magmatic Insight, a light up the stage, and a Dig Through Time. Okay, that will be a keep. No red mana yet though, but we've got plenty of blue and drawing cards. And we've got an Aether Gust as well. So there's an Attune with Aether, so we can bounce a Bristling Hydra back to their hand, should one appear. There's our mountain. So we'll just play an island. An Aether Hub. No other plays, so I think we can get the electrostatic field down. I'm not going to have the 4 mana for the Bristling Hydra. And if they play something else, we can Aether Gust it back to their hand in any way. There's a forest. No plays again. This is looking good. So we'll get the Steam events out. Untapped. Leave up Aether Gust. Pass the turn and we'll opt at the end of theirs. And possibly Frantic Inventory as well, depending on if they play anything. There's an Attune. So do they have a lot of pump in their hand? Just no. creatures to play it on. There's a mountain. And they pass, so we'll opt and play a frantic inventory as well. So we draw a thing in the ice, that's good. We got a mountain, we'll put that in the bottom. We got strategic planning. So play the Iond and we'll play the thing in the ice. Pass the turn, leaving up Aether Gust. There's a harness to lightning. I think we'll leave that because even if we bounce it back to their hands, they're going to cast it again anyway. And we're getting a Glory Bringer. So yeah, we'll definitely Aether Gust that. Ping them again for 1. See what we draw. Expressive Iteration. So we'll Frantic Inventory and draw 2. Magmatic Insight and light up the stage. Don't have the extra land just now. We're going to keep the Aether Gust back for the Glory Bringer. Forgot to bounce it. Luckily enough we can bounce it when it's on the battlefield. Before it attacks. Taking them down to 13. There's an electrostatic field, so we'll play that. And Expressive Iteration. See if we can get a land. So put the thing in the ice in our hand. Oops, I never meant to do that. Need to exile a Sulphur Falls. Oh well, not much we can do with that now. Spectacle Cost to light up the stage. Ping them for another 2. I think the thing in the ice might have been good to have. We'd get 2 lands from that. Well, we've got a land drop for next turn, definitely. There's the Glory Bringer. So are they going to exert it? Nope, they're just getting in for the 4. Can we draw enough to kill them next turn? Or this turn? So there's a Fiery Impulse. So we can play the Steam Vents, untapped. So we'll play Strategic Planning. Take the Treasure Cruise. Should have enough here to kill them. Play the Treasure Cruise, leaving in the 2 Frantic Inventories just now. Just in case. Oh, we need a land. There's a land. So play the Magmatic Insight. Discard the Island. We need another 1 mana spell. Frantic Inventory. Oh, we accidentally took one out. Oh well. So, don't have enough to kill them this turn, so we'll play the other electrostatic field. And we get the GGs. Okay, here we are up against JP Squiggles 1. I think we'll be keeping this. We are on the play. We'll Steam Vents and we'll leave it untapped for an opt. We'll be looking for, well, either one of our pingers or a thing in the ice. So we'll opt here. Strategic Planning. We'll keep that on top. We've got a mountain there. There's a Frantic Inventory. So we'll play the strategic Planning. Nothing yet. But we'll take the island. So we'll have a land drop for next turn. Ah, there's a mountain. No other plays though. There's a thing in the ice. So what are they playing? Magma Opus. You get a treasure token. And a Dreadbore. Not keen on that artwork, to be honest. Nice, but not for me. I do like my promos though. So we'll Frantic Inventory. We got a Fiery Impulse. Sailor of Means. There's a treasure token. Creates. So is it some kind of, is it treasure token? Is it treasure? We'll play the strategic planning. 3 islands. I'll take this Sulphur Falls. We'll play the Magmatic Insight, ditching the Sulphur Falls. We've got another Magmatic Insight and an island. So we'll play those. A mountain and an electrostatic field. Swamp. And no, it's the Prismari Dragon. The Elder Dragon. Get in for 1. So we'll play the mountain. Play the electrostatic field. Play the treasure cruise. Take all the lands. Make sure we leave the Frantic Inventory in this time. Spectacle cost for light up the stage. There's a fiery impulse and a frantic inventory. So we can draw plenty of cards the next turn, and we can probably kill the Prismari Dragon next turn as well. Could do with another electrostatic field or even a thermal alchemist. So they're getting them for 3. Even a thing in the ice would be great. So there's the Steam Vents. We'll play that untapped. Play the Frantic Inventor and see what we draw first. Another electrostatic field. So we'll play that. We'll burn the Prismari Elder Dragon. And burn it again. Sometimes I wish we'd be able to ping our creatures as well though. What we get here? Prismari Command. Say draw 2 cards, discard 2, and you create a treasure token. Do have to get some of those. Don't know if I'd use them in this deck though. They are a bit more than the Izzet Charm. So they're going to create a treasure token. What are we getting here? Tezzeret, Master of the Bridge. They're going to deal me damage. And they gain X life as well. Not good. Play the Steam Vents untapped. Opt. We'd have to string together an awful lot of spells here. Put that in the bottom. Play the Frantic Inventory. Play the other electrostatic field. Play the... We'll play the Thermal Alchemist. We're going to get enough this turn. But with 4 pingers out, we're on 7 life. They're going to deal us 3 damage with Tezzeret. So if we can survive this turn, I think we've got them next turn. There's a treasure map, so it's 4 damage now. Prismari Command. There's 2, plus another treasure token, so there's 5 there. Okay. So, okay, we're going to bring in our 2 Smash to Smithereens. We'll take it a dig through time and I'll light up the stage. It's a pity we don't have anything against our Planeswalkers though. So that's maybe an idea for changes for the sideboard. So I'll play the Spire Bluff Canal. opt. We'll get expressive iterations, we'll put that on top. Play the island, and we'll play the strategic planning. Take the fiery impulse. Okay, so we play a mountain. Cast a frantic inventory. And we draw an electrostatic field. So we'll get that down next turn. There's a mountain. And a sailor of means. Land drop is a smash to smithereens. So we'll get the electrostatic field out. Land drop would have been good. There's no point targeting one of their treasure tokens because they'll just sack it. There's the Prismari Dragon. So double fiery impulse that again. There's a sulphur falls, that's good. So we'll get rid of that dragon. And we'll play the light up stage for its spectacle cost. And we get 2 lands. So there's a land drop for next turn. There's a bedevil, so I'll get rid of our electrostatic field. Not good. Get in for 1. So there's an opt. So play the steam vents, untapped. Play the frantic inventory and draw 2. We'll opt. Really looking for a thing in the ice or one of our pingers. Expressive iteration, so there's a pinger. So we'll put the Thermal Alchemist in our hand. Put the strategic planning on the bottom and exile the steam vents. The Thermal Alchemist is a slower one. Tezzeret the Schemer. So it's not Izzet, it's almost like a Tezzeret deck as well. I'll get them for 1. So we'll play the Thermal Alchemist. So we'll have a blocker at least, but play the Treasure Cruise. It's a pity it's not a electrostatic field. There's one of those. So play the Thermal Alchemist, because obviously it will lose its summoning sickness at the end of their turn. We can play the electrostatic field and gain the ability to ping them straight away from that. It tells us it's got a +1/-X as well. You can start killing our creatures. So we're going to get them for 2. We can block one of them. Doesn't really matter which. There's a Magmatic Insight. So we'll play the electrostatic field first. Ping them for 1. Play the Magmatic Insight. Ping them again. There's a thing in the ice. We don't want to play that just now because it's Tezzeret. Or do we? Yes. Why not? We're going to opt to untap the Thermal Alchemist. I think we've got. I don't think we had enough there to flip the thing in the ice. Oh, I see. Well, we might have actually. Right, well, we're probably going to lose the thing in the ice, but a good thing there is the Tezzeret won't be able to target anything else. Unless they've got another one. So we're going to lose that one, as the electrostatic field as well. Didn't attack, oh well. Ping them for 1. Smash to smithereens, okay. Right, ping them for 1. Play light up the stage for the spectacle. There's a Magmatic Insight. Play the Izzet Charm. Draw 2, discard 2. Discard the 2 Smash to Smithereens, we've not had much use for them. Play the Expressive Iteration. We'll take the Frantic Inventory. Put the Izzet Charm in the bottom and exile the Sulphur Falls. Ping them for another 1. Play the Frantic Inventory. Draw 3. There's a thing in the ice. So we'll have the Magmatic Insight, and we've got 2 spells here definitely for the thing in the ice. Now we get something we can target with the Smash to Smithereens. So we're going to lose the Thermal Alchemist. We'll ping them for 1. Now, can we string together enough spells to play the thing in the ice and flip it in 1 turn? We've got 2 spells so far. think we're going to have enough mana for it, because we've got a land drop this turn as well anyway. There's another Magmatic Insight, so I think we've got a very good chance. So we'll play our first Magmatic Insight, ditching that mountain. See what we draw. 2 lands, we can play the Sulphur Falls. Not what we wanted to see, was 2 lands. So we'll ditch one of them, play a second Magmatic Insight. Another thing in the ice, we really need to get another spell. Thought we might have got it there. There's a light up the stage. So we were 1 short. They're going to scry with Treasure Cruise. Scry again. Create a token. Prismari command. So I'm going to draw another 2. So they really digging to try and... Oh, we get the GGs. So they must have been digging to try and find an answer. So this one we're going to do it with no changes. We do have targets for the Smash to Smithereens. So we'll keep that. They play a Fabled Passage, crack it, and get a Swamp. So we'll play the Steam Vents untapped. We can play the Magmatic Insight, ditching a mountain. So we got a Spar Bluff Canal and an Opt. There's an island and a treasure map. So we've got a target for a Smash to Smithereens should we draw one. Play the Spar Bluff Canal and strategic planning. So we'll put the Magmatic Insight into our hand. There's another Fabled Passage. Crack that. And the mountain. We draw our Fiery Impulse. So play the Sulphur Falls. Magmatic Insight ditching the island. Another 2 lands. So we will Expressive Iteration. 2 lands and another Expressive Iteration. So we'll take the Expressive Iteration and exile one of the lands. Now we seem to be drawing an abundance of lands. So we're going to scry one with the treasure map. Another island and a Tezzeret. So we're going to tick that up and create an artifact. play the mountain. Actually, I'll expressive iteration first. Take the electrostatic field. Put the Izzet charm on the bottom and exile the other expressive iteration. Play the island and we'll play the other expressive iteration. Take the alchemist, exile the magmatic insight and put Izzet charm in it. Exile the Izzet charm, I should say. Ditch the mountain. There's another artifact. And a wily goblin. Another treasure map. So there's a frantic inventory. So we've got plenty of draw. The thermal alchemist out and the electrostatic field out. Is he going to kill either of them with Izzet? Or ultimate it? Scry 1 with treasure map. Let's see, so he's going to ultimate it. So you can get a 5/5 creature at the beginning of combat. Not good. Not really going to be able to block this. Okay, so let's see what we draw. Oh, we're playing here. A magma opus. So he's got to get rid of one of our pingers. And he's created a 4/4 elemental. Not good. So we'll ping him for 1. I don't think we're going to get this one. Cast light up the stage. I think we would need to get a thing in the ice. 2 land. So we'll ping them again. Cast frantic inventory. Draw a card. Untap alchemist. There's a thing in the ice. So we'll play that. We have the spells to flip it next turn, guaranteed. You just have to hope they don't have an answer for it. There's a scry 1. And a dreadbore, so what they do. I think that was our one chance. There's a bedevil. So might as well ping them for 1. It doesn't matter because we're going to get another 5/5. Here that comes. And they'll get in for a big attack to kill us. Okay, here we are up against Daisuke 1986. We are on play. And we'll keep that. Put a magmatic insight back. Oh sorry, with 2 cards and a steam vents. So we've got another island, so we can opt. Hardened scales. That's not good. Opt, we'll put that in the bottom because we don't have the lands to use for it. And we'll draw land. Sod's Law. And another one. So play the steam vents. Take the electrostatic field. Another hardened scales. First time they play something that's going to be big. So we will play the mountain, cast the electrostatic field. We could have done with a spell. A woodland cemetery. And a scavenging ooze. Okay, sulphur false. We'll just draw lands, which is not good. I wanted to be able to play the light up stage for it. It's a spectacle cost. So we're going to exile our frantic inventory. We get a fiery impulse, so we'll hit the ooze. Get rid of that. We have another electrostatic field for next turn. We can start pinging them for 2, but we need to draw some spells though. We're a bit flooded. Another woodland cemetery. And an experiment 1. That's about to get big. Another ooze. We left 1 mana for the ooze to exile the other ooze. Making it big too. I need another land. Oh, we don't need another land. What am I saying? We need a spell desperately. Maybe something like a treasure cruise would be good. To allowing us to refill our hand. There's a Jade Light Ranger. So that's getting very big as well now. They're getting in for 9. Yeah, I don't think we're going to have much chance here. No, it's going to be 12 actually. Izzet Charm? Okay, I don't think we're going to have enough to deal 9 cast, 9 spells. So we will bring in the 4 Aether Gust. Take out 2 the Thermal Alchemist, because their creatures can get quite big. 1 Treasure Cruise and 1 Fiery Impulse. To win this game we're going to need a thing in the ice, which we've got there. So we'll play the Spire Bluff Canal. They play an Overgrown Tomb, untapped. And play an Experiment 1. So we will opt, put that to the bottom, and draw another Steam Vents. So we'll play Steam Vents untapped and play the thing in the ice. So that can block the Experiment 1. There's a Forest. And a Winding Constrictor. So that's going to become a 3-3. But we can still block it at the moment. There's another Aether Gust, so we'll play the Sulphur Falls and leave up an Aether Gust. Another Forest. And a Ronas. Experiment 1's going to go up to 5-5, so we'll definitely bounce that back to the hand. There's an Izzet Charm. So we'll draw 2 and discard 2, because we've got 2 land there. There's another Izzet Charm and an Island. So we'll ditch the mountain and the island and play the Steam Vents. Prefer to prioritise the double lands. Whenever possible. Right, so he could pump up his Winding Constrictor to be able to attack. He's going to play the Experiment 1. So there's no attacks at the moment. Well, that's good. So, end of their turn, we'll draw 2 and discard 2. There's an electrostatic field and an opt. Ditch the opt and the electrostatic field. There's a fiery impulse. Probably should have kept opt actually, but they're going to crack their Fabled Passage. They're going to pump up the Winding Constrictor, so they can attack with Ronas. So we'll bounce. We'll not have to bounce anything, we'll just play the Fiery Impulse. It doesn't matter what it targets because it's going to get bounced back to their hand before it can get killed. That's why the opt would have been a good idea. It plays the Experiment one back out. So we can bump that back to their hand. They're going to sacrifice it for village rights. There's another thing in the ice. So we'll cast that. And attack for 7. So what we're going to get here, another Hardened Scales. Don't have to worry about that really at the moment. There's a Winding Constrictor. So we'll bounce that back. They are going to be able to play it again, but if they do, that will probably be the only spell they are going to play. And a Hangerback Walker for 3. Okay. A Sparbluff Canal. Not what we wanted. We wanted to some kind of draw. We'll attack with the Awoken Horror. They're going to get 3 tokens, but it's going to stop it getting a lot bigger. There's a Winding Constrictor. And Ronas. So we definitely need some spells for this thing in the ice. They're getting in for an attack for 1. So that's a dig through time. So that's a good start. Been better with a treasure cruise because we would have had extra land. But let's see what we get. So there's a light up stage. We can take the Frantic Inventory. I would definitely take the Magmatic Insight. And the Aether Gust. And we get the GGs. So we'll make no changes and just play it back out again. So we'll keep that. Overgrown Tomb. Untapped. Tapped, I should say. So we'll get the Spiral Bluff Canal out. Don't want to go playing the Magmatic Insight just now, because I've only got one other land. So there's a Woodland Cemetery and a Sylvan Caryatid. So I guess we'll not be burning that away with the Fiery Impulse. So we'll play the mountain and we'll get the electrostatic field out. There's a Winding Constrictor, so we can't kill that just yet with the Fiery Impulse. Need a land. There we go. Get a mountain. So play the Expressive Iteration. Ping them for 1. Put the Thing in the Ice in our hand. Dig through time on the bottom and exile the island. Cast the Light Up Stage with Expecticle. And we get other lands. So at least we've got a land drop for next turn. And if we draw land, we've got something for Magmatic Insight as well. And there's another Winding Constrictor. So if we can get rid of one of them, that would be good. There's a Sulphur Falls. So we'll play the Steam Vents. Untapped. Play the Thing in the Ice. Fiery Impulse one of the Winding Constrictors. Now we're going to kill our Thing in the Ice. Oh well. So we can Magmatic Insight, ditching the Sulphur Falls. And we draw. Frantic Inventory and the Light Up Stage. So they're going to ban Ooze. They've got enough mana there to eat at least one thing. Attack for 2. I guess we'll just take it, just in case they've got something. There's the Snakeskin Veil. And we're really going to need that electrostatic field at the moment. So there's a Frantic Inventory, another one. So we'll play that, draw a card. Sulphur Falls. So we can cast the Light Up Stage with its Spectacle cost. There's a Thing in the Ice. Play Sulphur Falls. Pass the turn, leaving up Aether Gust. They are going to exile, so we'll bounce it back to their hand. We don't have an abundance of mana at the moment. Plus we don't want them being able to pump that up, get out a Ronas as well. There's another ooze. Luckily enough there's one thing in the ice in our graveyard. They're going to get him for 2 again, so we'll take it. So we'll play the mountain from exile. Actually, no, we'll play the thing in the island because we need that. I think we need the blue mana a bit more than we do the red. So play the frantic inventory and draw 2. They're going to eat the other frantic inventory, so we're only going to draw 1 now. There's an expressive iteration. So we'll pass the turn. And we'll Izzet Charm the Scavenging Ooze before it can grow. So we just need at least one more spell to flip the thing in the ice. There's another ooze. They're saying that we did. Aether Gust 1 back to the hand. So they're going to attack for 2. Again, we'll just take it. There's an Aether Gust. So we've got enough to flip it. So expressive iteration. So we'll take an island, exile the magmatic insight, playing that, ditching the island. Transform the horror. They've floated 1 black. So they might have had a failed push there. So we'll get in for 7. Play the Steam Vents. Untapped. Play the Electrostatic Field and we can leave up an Aether Gust. There's a Caryatid. Can't do much about that. And we get the GGs. Okay, here we are up against an anti-Oxy. We are on the draw, and that's going to be a keep. 2 thing in the ice there, so that's quite good. Bloodfell's Caves. So we will play the island. Need to draw a few more lands for the magmatic insight though. Play a mountain and a Dreadhorde Butcher. So that's going to get in for 1 and grow. play the Sulphur Falls, and play the thing in the ice. And saying that, we could have Fiery Impulse it. Too late now. Should be able to block it anyway with the thing in the ice. Scavenge Blade, so that's going to be a no-no. It's now a 4-2. So it's going to get him for 4. Yeah, we should have Fiery Impulsed it. Goes to a 5-3. There's no electrostatic field. We need land. Let's play the Expressive Iteration. There's land. Put one of the land in our hand and exile the Frantic Inventory. Not what we would have wanted. Saying that, I could have exiled one of the land and taken the Frantic Inventory and played the land. Oh well. Guess we're just too excited to see land. So we're going to get him for 5. We need to flip this thing in the ice. An Expedition Champion. So there's another land. So Expressive Iteration first. So we've got Light Up the Stage. Put the electrostatic field in the bottom and we'll draw, exile the island, play the island. And play the electrostatic field. Well, we do have a blocker now. We're going to get him for 10. So we'll block the Dread Horde. Take 4. There's a Frantic Inventory. So we will Magmatic Insight, drawing 2. Thermal Alchemist and the Electrostatic Field. So we'll play the Frantic Inventory. Draw Light on the stage. Attack for 7. Should have light up the stage for its spectacle cost, but saying that, we can leave the Fiery Impulse up. So it's a 3-blade charger. So we can burn that, stop it from getting equipped. It deals 1 damage to us. There's another thing in the ice. So we'll play the Electrostatic Field and the Alchemist. Get in for 7. We can get a thing in the ice out next turn. There's an expedition champion. And another one. So let's play the expressive iteration. Ping them for one with the alchemist. We've got enough to kill them this turn. Take up the light at the stage. Put the... let's see, no, we don't. Draw the frantic inventory. Exile the frantic inventory, I should say. Because we need more red mana. Ping them again. Play the island. And play the frantic inventory to draw 2. Ping them again. We needed one more spell. We needed another island, another land I should say. So we won't attack. There's Dreadhorde Butcher. He's going to equip that. We're going to get in with everything. So, block the Dreadhorde Butcher with a Walking Heart. Dreadhorde Butcher with the electrostatic field. And block the other 2. Ping them for 1 with the Thermal Alchemist. We keep 2. Play the island and opt. Get the GG's. So we're going to bring in the 4 Aether Gust. Take out a Dig Through Time, Treasure Cruise and a Magmatic Insight. Okay, we'll keep that. There's a mountain. So we'll play the Sparbloff Canal. Hold up a Fiery Impulse. There's a Swamp. No other plays at the moment. No, there's a Scavenge Blade. So play the Steam Vents. And play the Electrostatic Field. Should have played the Sparbloff Canal. Because it will now only come into play tapped. Another Scavenge Blade. No land drops. Play the Mountain. Play the Expressive Iteration. We'll take the Thermal Alchemist. Wrong way around again. I meant to. Always should learn to read that spell properly. So I could have exiled the opt and opted at the end of their turn. Another Scavenge Blade. There's a magmatic insight, so we'll magmatic insight. There's a steam vent, so we'll play that untapped. We'll play the Thermal Alchemist, leaving up a Fiery Impulse. No lands yet, so there's a Bloodchin Rager. So it's a warrior deck. Rakdos Warrior. There's a light up the stage, so we'll ping them for 1. Play the light up the stage for its spectacle cost. Ping them again. Play the Thermal Alchemist. Ping them again. Draw an island. Play the island. And we'll leave up an Aether Gust and Fire Impulse. We're going to play a Relic Axe, so we'll kill the Bloodchin Rager, pinging them for 1. 2 actually. Ping them again for another 1. Play the other Thermal Alchemist. Ping them again. Opt. Untapping, pinging. Keep the electrostatic field on top. Draw that and play it. Well, actually, no. We'll leave up the Aether Gust. There's a Shrapnel Blast. You could Aether Gust that, but I don't see the point. We've got to ping them for 2 at the end of their turn. Play the Izzet Charm. Ping them for 4. Get rid of an Aether Gust, the 2 Aether Gusts, because we're not going to need them. Ping them for another 2. Cast Magmatic Insight. Ditch the mountain. Ping them for another 2. Take them down to 1. And ping them for the final 1. And we get the GG's. Well, here we are. So how did we do it in the end? Well, we went 3 and 2 overall. Losing to Elves, which was a bit too quick for us. And also an Izzet Treasure deck. The deck worked very well. Either through pinging our opponent to death, which we did in 1 or 2 games, or with Thing in the Ice trampling, or with Thing in the Ice attacking it as well and returning all their creatures back to their hand. Now, as for any changes, I think the deck worked very well by itself. some possible changes. You can look at the Fiery Impulse and take that out for maybe a spell like Shock or Will Slash that you could actually deal damage to your opponent. That's one possibility. You could take out a Dig Through Time and put in a second Treasure Cruise, or you could do the opposite way round. As for anything else, well, it's kind of difficult to say. It would really come down to the pilot of the deck as to what kind of spells they would like. The spells that we had, I felt were good. We can maybe take out the strategic planning and put in a fourth expressive iteration, and maybe a fourth magmatic insight. But again, these are just ideas, and it would depend upon the actual pilot of the deck itself. As for sideboard, well, it's kind of difficult. We only really brought in the Aether Gusts in any of our games, so we never really got a chance to see if any of the other cards may be better changed for something else. So it would really be up to yourself, should you try and play this deck. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.
Thank you for watching. I hope to see you again soon. YouTube is showing you a couple of videos you might like. Comment down below. Remember to give a big thumbs up and subscribe. Bye!